of style or sense of fashion?
Well, I think that depends on what you're...
No, that wasn't a question.
Well, criticism at work can affect every part of your life. It can add stress during the day and invade your thoughts outside of the office. And if you don't handle it well, feedback from your boss or even a coworker can ultimately derail your career. Well, joining me this morning is Dr. Mimi Hall. She's a workplace psychologist. Thank you so much for coming in, doctor. My big question is, if you're not someone's boss, should you be criticizing at all?
You know, I think it's all about the purpose of the criticism. If you're there and you're helping someone and you're giving them constructive criticism, and I oftentimes say in a loving way, then it can be very helpful as a coworker. And if you're seeing something, let them know, but also let them know what they're doing right. And that's an important part of it.
Yeah. So in your opinion, is it easier to receive or to give criticism? Neither is easy, but what's worse? What's harder to take?
You know, it's harder to receive criticism, but both are very difficult to do if they're done right.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of it. Nobody wants to hear bad things about what they're doing. Everyone wants to think they're doing it perfectly. And yet, in reality, we've got to find out what's working and what's not.
Yeah, well, a lot of us have yearly reviews where we have to receive criticism, and bosses, of course, have to give it.
Right.
So what are some helpful hints if you have to give some criticism to someone?
Well, number one, don't ever do it when you're angry.
Okay.
Because you're going to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Number two, think about how is it going to help the receiver. Be very specific. Don't just give a generality like you tend to be rude to customers, but rather when I saw you on Thursday, I noticed that you were not looking at the customer, but rather you were looking at your computer.
Yeah, that helps them change their behavior, correct?
Exactly, and keep it very behavioral as opposed to saying things like you're not respectful, I can't trust you, things like that don't help people a whole lot.
Okay, what other tips do you have for giving criticism?
One of the things, as I said, is to make it very, very specific. Give a time, give a place. Let them know what you saw, what you heard. Keep it very behavioral. Also, think in terms of what they could do differently. Give them a suggestion as what they could do, not only what they need to stop doing.
How to change that behavior.
Exactly.
Good stuff. Now, if you're getting ready to go into your review, how can you get yourself in a good mind state to receive criticism?
Think of your criticism as a gift. Okay, people are thinking what they're thinking anyway, and now the gift is that you're going to know it as well. So if I can perceive it as people are giving me a gift, they're risking to tell me something, then I can say, okay, tell me about it, and do things like even sit in an open position, be available, listen, care about it, and then think about what is going to be your response.
Yeah, your first point is be open-minded. Next, you say recognize that others may be right. You're not always right. What they're saying may be the truth.
Exactly, exactly. And that's being aware of that is so wonderful. You know, you wouldn't get dressed in the mirror in the morning without a mirror. Think of criticism as your mirror.
And you also say ask for clarification. If you're hearing something that doesn't make sense, say, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, give me more information. Can you show me an example? Tell me a time when. But say it in an open way as opposed to tell me a time when.
Yeah.
That's a whole different message.
All right, great advice, Dr. Mimi Hall. Thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate your time.
I'm delighted.